You ever get a gift that was supposed to break you, but instead set you free? Christmas Eve. The whole house smelled like cinnamon and hot chocolate, but I couldn't even enjoy it. My hands were shaking as I hung that last ornament, gold and red, catching the light just right. Should have felt magical, you know? But all I felt was dread. Because my husband promised me a surprise. And after 6 years, I knew exactly what his surprises meant. They were never sweet. They were traps wrapped in pretty paper, designed to humiliate me while he smiled like he'd done something thoughtful. The diet books on my birthday. The gym membership at Easter brunch, in front of my entire family. The meal tracker app he installed on my phone without asking, checking every single thing I ate. Each time it crushed me. And each time I swallowed it. Smiled. Said thank you. But this time, something felt different. Edward sat at the kitchen table with that smile. Not a loving husband smile. The predator's grin. The one I learned to recognize. You'll need all your energy for the surprise, he said. My stomach dropped. Then my phone buzzed. Simone, my best friend since we were kids. You good? I typed back, he's planning something. Before I could even finish, Edward's voice cut through the air. After Christmas, you won't have to worry about friends filling your head with nonsense. What did he mean? I'm Michaela. I'm 32. I live in West End in Atlanta, and I own a home that my grandmother's inheritance bought. That detail's gonna matter later. The afternoon Edward left on his errand, I finally exhaled. Called my mother-in-law Lorraine. Hey baby, she answered, warm as always. Lorraine, do you know anything about Edward's surprise? Silence. He's been acting strange. And you know how his jokes can be. Jokes. Her tone shifted. Michaela, what kind of jokes? I hesitated. Then I asked the question I'd been too afraid to ask anyone. Do you think Edward ever goes too far? The pause felt like forever. I didn't raise my son to humiliate women, she said. And if he's doing that to you, I'll deal with him myself. You hear me? Yes, ma'am. You're not alone, Michaela. Remember that. For the first time in years, I felt like maybe I had someone in my corner. That evening, Edward came back whistling. Smug. Like everything was falling perfectly into place. Tomorrow's gonna be unforgettable, he whispered. I barely slept. Lay there beside him, listening to his snores, staring at the ceiling. Whatever he had planned, it was designed to crush my dignity. But this time, I felt different. A quiet strength had settled in me. Christmas morning came with church bells ringing. I got up early, made coffee, ground the beans myself, the way my grandmother taught me. And as I watched the sunrise through that kitchen window, I felt certain of one thing. Tonight, I would not bow my head. By evening, the house looked perfect. Golden lights everywhere, candles flickering. I'd worked so hard to make everything beautiful for a man who only saw me as something to fix. Lorraine arrived first, pulling me into a hug that lasted longer than usual. You look beautiful, dear. That burgundy dress suits you perfectly. The others arrived soon after. Edward's Uncle Raymond and Aunt Denise. And Andre, Edward's best friend since childhood. I moved between the guests, offering appetizers, making sure everyone felt welcome. But my eyes kept drifting back to Edward. He was buzzing with an energy that felt like it might explode. Before dinner ended, Edward stood. Glass in hand, that gleam in his eye. I want to make a toast. Tonight is special. This will be a day our family remembers forever. My blood went cold. I've prepared something meaningful for my beautiful wife. A gift that comes from the heart. Something that will truly change her life. Lorraine frowned. Edward, what are you planning? He laughed. That laugh. Mom, you'll see. Trust me, this is going to be good. Around 9:30, his phone buzzed. His face lit up like he'd just won the lottery. Perfect. It's time. Everyone, Edward announced. The gift is here. Let's move to the living room. Lorraine wrapped her arm around mine as we walked. If he does anything out of line, I'll deal with him. Every step felt heavier than the last. I felt like I was walking toward my own funeral. The living room was beautiful. Christmas lights glowing, tree standing tall in the corner. And on the coffee table sat a large red box with a golden ribbon. Ladies and gentlemen, Edward began, Marriage is about growth, about helping each other become better. Tonight, I want to give my wife a gift that represents a moment of truth. Michaela, he gestured for me to come forward. My love, this gift is going to help you see reality from a whole new perspective. Silence fell. Heavy. Suffocating. I stepped forward, lifting my chin. Whatever humiliation he had planned, I was not going to give him the satisfaction of seeing me crumble. I'm ready, Edward. He picked up the box and handed it to me. Open it, baby. My hands trembled as I pulled the golden ribbon. Lifted the lid. Inside was a tiny, dazzling cocktail dress. Designer label. Size 2. Gasps erupted. It's to motivate you, baby. Edward beamed. To help you lose enough weight to fit into this dress. Isn't it beautiful? I wear a size 14. The humiliation hit me like a punch to the chest. Heat flooded my face. I felt exposed, dissected, ridiculed. Right there in front of everyone. For 6 years, I'd taken his cruelty. Swallowed it. Pretended it was love. But something inside me broke. Like a dam finally giving way. And instead of crumbling, I felt something else rise up. Power. Before anyone could speak, I carefully placed the box back on the coffee table. Great, I said loud enough for everyone to hear. Because I have a gift for you too, Edward. The room went silent. Edward's smirk faltered. I walked slowly to my purse. Each step deliberate. Controlled. Edward, you've always been good at giving unforgettable gifts. Diet books. Gym memberships. Apps to track every bite I eat. Tonight, you really outdid yourself. Edward shifted, sweating now. I was going to give you this after dinner, but your little fashion show makes now the perfect moment. I pulled out an envelope. Crisp. White. Official. The divorce papers, baby. I've already signed them. The impact was like a bomb going off. Edward went silent, staring at the papers like they were venomous snakes. Lorraine covered her mouth, but I saw it, pride flickering in her eyes. Wait, Michaela, it was just a joke. I love you. A joke. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Like all the diet books? The gym membership? The way you monitor everything I eat like I'm a child. Each word was a knife. Michaela, let's talk about this privately. Edward reached for my arm. I stepped back. There's nothing to discuss. You sign these papers, take your little dress, and leave. Tonight. Leave? This is my house. No, I said. The house and the car are in my name. Mine. Bought with my grandmother's inheritance. The car was a gift from my grandfather. All legally mine, Edward. You never cared about those details, remember? His face shifted, the reality hitting him like a freight train. We bought this together. You didn't buy anything. You moved into my house, drove my car, ate food I paid for, and you repaid me by trying to humiliate me into becoming someone I'm not. Lorraine stepped forward. Daughter, you've always been more than my son deserved. Mom. Edward turned to her desperately, but Lorraine just gave him a cold stare. You reap what you sow, Edward. If you had any respect for Michaela, you wouldn't humiliate her like this. A woman like her deserves to be treated like a queen. Tears stung my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. If you really loved me, Edward, you would have supported me. Celebrated me. Not spent 6 years trying to tear me down. I looked at the papers in his hands. Sign them. Leave my house. Take only what belongs to you. The clothes on your back and whatever's in your closet. Andre stepped forward. Man, you need to sign these papers and go. You dug your own grave. Where am I supposed to go? Edward asked. That's not my problem anymore. Completely humiliated, without a shred of support from anyone, Edward had no choice. Hands trembling, he signed the divorce papers. He went upstairs, gathered his belongings, came back minutes later with 2 small suitcases. And then, this part I'll never forget, he grabbed that red box with the tiny size 2 dress. As he climbed into the driver's seat, he called my name. Michaela. I just looked at him and felt nothing. No love. No hate. Just emptiness where he used to live in my heart. I hope you find someone who tolerates your jokes, Edward. Because I will never accept less than I deserve. He drove away, carrying that dress with him. The gift that was supposed to break me had set me free instead. 6 months later, morning sunlight streamed through the wide windows of Crown Curves, my boutique in the heart of Sweet Auburn. Colorful clothing for all body types, with a focus on plus-size women. Mannequins displayed my philosophy, fashion that celebrates women exactly as they are. Warm amber walls, mirrors catching the best light, potted plants in every corner. And my proudest feature, framed testimonials from clients. Women who'd found confidence here, not just clothes. Simone walked in carrying 2 coffees. Girl, I still can't believe everything you've accomplished in such a short time. The supplier meeting went well. We're getting an exclusive line of plus-size dresses. Beautiful pieces. Nothing generic. The bell chimed. A young woman walked in, shy, uncertain. Hi, she said softly. I'm Jasmine. I can never find anything pretty in my size. My friend said you might have something. I walked over, smiling. Jasmine, welcome. Let me show you what we have. I helped her choose outfits, a burgundy wrap dress, a royal blue jumpsuit, a floral sundress that made her gasp. She emerged from the dressing room transformed. Not because the clothes changed her body, but because they celebrated it. You look stunning. Tears filled Jasmine's eyes. I've never felt beautiful before. True beauty isn't about size, honey. It's about attitude. And you've always been beautiful. You just needed clothes that celebrated it. Jasmine left with 3 dresses and a smile that could light up the whole city. Later, Simone mentioned him. Heard Edward's working at a warehouse now. Someone said he complains about everything. Gets upset whenever he hears about your success. I paused mid-bite, but there was no pain. No bitterness. I feel nothing toward him. The Michaela who lived in fear of his humiliation is someone else entirely. You were reborn, Simone said softly. That afternoon, Lorraine walked in carrying a tin of sweet potato cookies. Got news. My friend from church wants to talk to you about opening a Crown Curves franchise in another city. My heart jumped. A franchise? Lorraine, I don't know if I'm ready. My daughter, you built all of this in 6 months. You turned your pain into purpose. If that's not being ready, I don't know what is. After she left, I stood alone in the boutique, looking at my reflection in the large mirror. The woman looking back was nothing like the woman humiliated that Christmas Eve. Her eyes sparkled with confidence. Her shoulders squared with dignity. Her smile radiated peace. I hadn't lost weight. If anything, I gained a few pounds of happiness. But I had found something far more valuable: self-love. Thank you, Edward, I whispered to my reflection. Without your cruelty, I would never have discovered my own strength. The sun set over Atlanta, painting the sky orange and pink. I closed the boutique and walked the Sweet Auburn streets, greeting neighbors who'd become friends. Passing my house in West End, once a place of humiliation, now my sanctuary, I smiled. Sometimes life's deepest humiliations are just disguises for our greatest liberations. True revenge isn't in destroying those who hurt us. It's in building a life so full that the pain becomes irrelevant. Inside every woman is a warrior waiting to awaken. And sometimes, all it takes is one terrible night to finally find her light. Did you enjoy the story? If so, hit like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe. Thanks for watching Revenge with Keisha. See you next time.